Said hello, good evening, welcome to Club Call and Bob the Blue, Ned on the stopwatch. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. You are correct.
That's because of Ned. Ned and all his jobs. Well, be lucky.
I mean, one of them was he didn't even put the camera on.
He didn't put the camera on, which is quite vital. Quite vital.
I do one thing at a time here.
It's clear that you do one thing at a time. The problem is that time is... I can hear myself now. Thanks, Ned.
He said you couldn't hear yourself.
Said he couldn't, could he?
He said there was no way we'd hear ourselves.
Incredible. Welcome to 2024.
Start the year as you mean to go on. The first club call of the year, and he's literally gone with a statement, you won't be able to hear yourself, lads.
Yeah.
And the first thing you do is can hear yourself.
Yeah.
So already he's got 100% of the things
He's
wrong.
100% ahead of the curve.
Already.
He's 100% ahead of the curve.
Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Bob the Blue asks a question.
Go on.
And just says, can our squad afford the distraction of an FA Cup run?
Well, we'll find that out tomorrow, won't we?
There's the answer for you.
Yeah, there's the answer.
Well,
Ned
no.
said that 2024 is the year of no shoes, apparently he said.
No, I've just said as if I'm coming in shoes and here again.
Isn't that just basically the same
I
thing?
mean, I've seen him once this year.
Yeah.
And he hasn't wore shoes.
I've saw him twice and he's
got
not
sliders.
wearing shoes on either. Yesterday it was pouring down.
Yeah.
He walked in. I was watching from my car and he walked in like Bruce Willis in the film where he's like the fake superhero.
Oh, you meant the cat burglar.
Yeah, but what's the first one called? Unbreakable. Right, and that's what he looked like, just this mac on, but with sliders on.
With sliders.
And it was pouring down. He walked in like RoboCop. He was like...
I walked in with shoes yesterday. I didn't even have them on. I had them in the box and no one could see him. I still got ripped to shreds for them.
Those footy boots?
Yeah.
That's because they're the worst footy boots you've ever... You spent £90 on something that I definitely reckon they sell in Windsor's.
They're nice.
What did you say after you played in them?
I had a good game, so it was nice.
But what... You didn't say that before. You said, oh, this hurt and that hurt.
Yeah, he said they weren't very good.
How the heel is.
Well, there you go then. We've found problems already. Day one.
Royal Blue says, sounds like Ped's in an empty room because of the echo.
I've got an echo.
I don't know, I'm just saying. What
Royal Blue says, is there an echo or is it
You're
just
about
me?
to hate yourself in a few seconds.
Okay.
Just ignore it.
I think I'm fine. Personally, I think Royal Blue's the pit. Yeah. Royal Blue is the person with the issue.
Do you think?
Can you turn that off now, please? Because it's really distracting.
There's no issue here.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really distracting. Thank you.
So it's on Royal Blue.
Royal Blue, it's on you.
Royal Blue's sitting in an echo chamber.
You are.
What would that be if he's got an echo? Give us an answer, Ned.
Yeah, come on.
You
You.
might, if it's like a slap back, I could have two devices or two monitoring devices.
2 monitoring devices.
So slap back is when an audio is played.
Oh, yeah.
There's an echo.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, hello. Like that.
Have you just made that word up?
No, slap back.
You sure?
I'm very sure.
Okay.
Okay.
He might have his monitoring device and something with a spring in it, so he's getting spring reverb.
He's getting spring reverb.
Spring reverb, you're getting Royal Blue.
Isn't that what he said he had before at the Chinese?
He might be sitting
Well, Buddy said he had after it when he'd been to that Chinese. He had a spring reverb.
in
Goose, wasn't he?
an echo chamber.
Oh, it was duck, sorry.
Paid 30 odd quid for a duck.
Okay. What did he say about goose?
Goosing.
No, sorry, I was watching
No,
Top
he
Gun.
hadn't. He hadn't
watching
goosed,
Top
is
Gun.
what he said after.
No, he's watching Top Gun.
Paul Catzel, Gary Ward says, howdy. Paul Catzel says Spurs are talking about terminating Eric Dyer's contract. Is he someone you think Everton should consider? He's 30 next week, but he's better than Keane and Godfrey. Can also play in the number 6 role. Wages would have to be right, though.
Not for me, because I don't think that position is a priority right now. I think we have to get our ducks in a row, and that would, to me, would be a number 10 or a right winger, basically. They would be the positions I'd look at, because I think they're the positions we need to juggle,
Okay.
where we can juggle.
Royal Blue says spring reverb sounds like a festival. Can see what you're saying there.
Spring
yeah.
reverb, or it's like a statement people on a show, like, you know, autumn Spring Watch would say. Yes, we have spring reverb, and that's where like the greenery comes back. It comes back into life. as you can see, the daffodils have gone fully
Spring reverb. Okay. Yeah, could be.
I feel kind of ashamed that this month
Yeah.
means I've now been here 4 years.
Yeah.
You had a sound expert
Yeah.
specialist here for 4
Yeah.
years, and you just call spring reverb.
Sorry, Ned, you...
Has our sound levels gone up massively since we had a sound expert?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not convinced.
You're using a portable microphone as an interface.
I'm not convinced they've gone up massively.
That was just down to financial situation. That's all it was.
But what did I whip out of me first?
Hey! Ho! Ho! Tell you something, sunshine.
Let's move on.
Interface like Mary Poppins.
Andros Townsend signed a new deal at Luton.
Did he?
Are we regretting not giving him a new contract?
I actually think we should have given him a new contract. I do believe we should have, but obviously
Either been good
he would have.
for us.
No, I genuinely believe we should have given him a new contract. But obviously things were tight, and listen, Andros Townsend thought he was going to have to retire, didn't he? Because no one wanted him. He was preparing himself to be in the media and stuff, and then Luton came along and took him, and he's done well. I don't know what his new contract is, but I do maybe think we should have said to him, "Well, come into pre-season with us and see how you get on." I think it was a little bit. I think we were a little bit quick to get rid of him. I really do, but that might just show the situation we're in as a football club.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree. Ruben says, "I don't think we are in dire need of a centre back," and he's done a winky face. I like it, Ruben. I like it. Yeah, I mean, Eugene says Sean Dieter says that Ashley Young's back on the grass again, and the FC Graham said smoking or running. See what they're doing here, just having a little game. Rondon the Legend says everyone smash the like button. Absolutely, hit that like button right now and subscribe if you haven't right now. Thank you. Royal Blue says, but they're still paying Delhi.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I think Delhi held the
He's
key.
under contract, though,
I think
isn't he?
Delhi held the key to a lot of problems. We will come on to Eddie in 1 minute. I think Delhi held the key.
They're the old secret.
I don't. Well, he certainly might have one, but the problem with Delhi is having that player there, and the situation meant maybe we might have looked at someone like Ross Barkley, who I think
We should have.
we could have got him on a year deal and said, well, there's an opportunity to earn more and getting him in for free. But having Delhi there created a situation where you're already paying somebody in that similar position a lot of money and not knowing exactly when he was going to come back, and then playing in similar positions. And again, Townsend, if I know they're not the same position, but just the financial part of it made it quite.
Eddie's left, like Eddie Bosner.
Eddie is left. He's left. Eddie's
He's gone
left.
full Eddie
Come back,
Bosner.
Eddie. Baby, come back.
Yeah. Eddie, come back. He should have said
to be
nothing
missing
around. Tom Linsky says, with Delhi unlikely ever to play for us again and our inability to win a game without Decore, would you look for a number 10 in this window?
I think I've already said that.
We've got to, Tom. We've absolutely got to. Gary Ward says everything sounds normal to me.
Gary Ward
knows.
He's the standard bearer.
He is.
He's the person
he was once locked in a basement.
He was.
On the very first ever.
Yeah.
Like club calling.
Hello.
Club call show.
We must have that somewhere.
What?
Hello.
We must have
Gary Ward's
the very
debut.
first.
Like 2020, I think.
Discord one where we used to do it on Discord.
Yeah.
It's just the very first one, and Gary was in the basement, but Gary knows.
Till you took over.
Done a full spring reverb.
What did you take over?
I invented.
What did you invent?
The way we did it.
Did you? Yeah.
I mean, literally
you
didn't
invent
invite
that,
any.
did you?
Yeah.
Because you're the one who discovered the thing we use.
Who brought that special cable in?
We didn't invent anything.
Special cable.
This special cable
What?
here.
And what does that special cable do?
It's just there if we need it.
To do what?
To take calls from the phone.
We had it once because Alan Myers didn't know how to get in touch with us.
I've invented it.
You invented
I
that
am
cable.
terrified. I'm terrified. Absolutely terrified.
Ned's cable, by the way, which apparently has been very active in the last week.
Terrified. I don't think he's been as active as you think he
Maybe not.
Bob the Blue says Townsend, Dyer, Young, Delhi, they're all too old. We need to be investing in youth. No, we do, but we had Delhi's on a contract, so he's forget about. You can't argue whether what he should be doing and what he shouldn't be. He's 27, by the way. But Andros Townsend, we're talking about a club that hasn't got a lot of money, and he was part of our club. Ashley Young, yeah. Eric Dyer, I don't think Everton are going for him anyway. No. And I think at the end of the day, they would choose to invest in youth with money. I think that's very much where they're trying to go now. But that doesn't mean you can't. It doesn't mean that you overlook opportunities right now while you're trying to get to that better place. I admit, and I'll totally agree with you, don't be giving 30-year-olds huge wages anymore. Don't be giving anyone big wages anymore. Trim it right down. Let them get here. Do well. If they do well in the consistency, then go back and negotiate and give them a better deal. We've been banned because we just give everybody big contracts just to get them here, which was the wrong way to do it. But we'll see.
And also, for me, I'd have just said to him, come back pre-season to Townsend.
He'd have been back. He was straight up.
Come back, train. He went on trial at Burnley, but I would have just said to him, come back and train and earn a new contract. That's what I would have said to him. Simple as that. Simple as that.
And he would have.
Let's see where we are. Let's see where you are. And he wouldn't have said no. And if he did say no, then fair play to him. That's his prerogative. But
he wouldn't have done that.
He wouldn't have done because I think Everton would have done that. Right, Eddie is back. Hello, Eddie.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you there. Go on, mate. Well, only because Baz hasn't got his headphones on.
That's simply because you just went straight into
That's logistics, Baz. You should be prepared. Go on, Ed. Go on, mate.
Go on, Ed. I can hear you now.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, not too bad, mate.
All right, mate.
How was your New Year's over there?
Rubbish, mate. New Year's is just not a thing.
Really?
Honestly, it's just not a thing.
Mine's been all right, to be fair, Ed. What's yours been like?
I was in Orlando, so it was
nice.
different from Texas, so it was a good time.
Nice.
Good man.
Good times. What was the weather like in Orlando while you were there?
It was quite nice. It was in the 70s, but I went there to go watch an American football game for the college I went to.
Oh, the college, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but my team sucked, so we lost. It was terrible to watch, but it was okay. I drank a lot.
Fair play.
Fair play
to you. Sounds like you've had a good start to 24. Not results-wise, but just personally, so that's good. So what do you want to say?
Did we just lose him?
Have we just lost Eddie?
The last thing he said was a drone colour.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we have to say.
No, hang on, he's break. Hang on. You broke up there, Ed, after you said the drunk a lot. Go on.
Yeah.
So after you guys were talking about like older players getting longer contracts and getting extensions, what are your thoughts about like Andre Gomez? Like I know he had one good performance and then two pretty mediocre ones, but he's still coming back from injury. And with the lack of money the club has right now, do you think it would be smart to sign him since his contract is up, or is he one of those players you would want to let walk?
100% let him go. 100%. One game doesn't mean anything. End of the season, if Everton could get some money for him this month and could bring in a loan, then I'd do that. But his injury record is poor. You know, he's been out on loan last year in France. There's no future for him at Everton, I don't think. His wages are too high. And it would make no sense. It'd make no sense to keep him. We'd be better getting someone who you know is going to be playing regularly, who you could get for a lot less money wages-wise, and you're going to get a lot more out of, you know, and that's just where we are again as a football club. He's one of our highest earning players, and he doesn't play football for us. So for me, I mean, you know, I know there's always that when a player has a good performance, you always want to look at it from obviously a positive point of view, but I just think you have to put everything in perspective of where he is. And I think just because his wages are so high, he is one of the highest earners at the football club. I think you just have to, and I think they will have already made that decision that they have to let him go.
Okay, that's understandable. I wish he did better here. If he didn't get hurt originally against Spurs the first time around, I think he would have had a decent career here at least. I would hope so. To believe.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a good point. And obviously, the other thing that people, or that maybe all of us overlooked at the time, was he was at his best when he was with Idrissa Gana Gueye doing the running for him in that loan season. And obviously we got Gabaman in to replace Garner and he got injured immediately. So therefore, Andre was in a totally different midfield then. One that didn't have as much legs. Yeah. So he struggled.
And going along that point, is there anyone else that's still under, like, that their contract's expiring this summer that we're like either letting go, or do you know of any, like, or our senior players that are going to expire this summer?
Well, Delhi expires this summer, and unless Everton can get him fit and renegotiate with Spurs, I don't see him staying.
No,
because he'd have to get fit and then impress massively in half a dozen games for the football club to not have to pay Spurs a big amount of money, and then following on from that, he'd have to do enough that the football club wanted to give him a different deal. But I can't see that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's very unlucky for him too, because he got another setback with his injury, which is tough to see. Especially since we're so light in the midfield right now.
Oh, he'd have been, I mean, in an ideal world, he would be fit right now while we haven't got the core, and he'd have had to go in a few of the games to see whether he could do the job, and who knows, he might have made a big impression, and therefore the club wanted to keep him. We've also got Idrissa Gana Gueye out of contract as well.
Has he got an option for another year? Because that's what's been reported.
At first, when he first signed, he said it was 2 with an option for 3rd, but I haven't heard from that.
So the full list is Jack Harrison, obviously, and Danjuma. They're on loans. Andre Gomez, Dele Alli, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Seamus Coleman, Ashley Young, Andy Lonergan. That is the full list, and obviously a lot of them are the players who are out of contract, who play for us. A lot of them are more senior players. I think Seamus Coleman it'll be up to him whether he wants another year. I think Everton would give him another year. Ashley Young, again, I think Everton will give him another year if he's happy to take another year. And again, if there is an option with the Idrissa Gana Gueye, I can imagine they'll give him a year as well. But Dele, Gomez, Danjuma, Lonergan will go, and Jack Harrison, it will all depend. We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. Will all depend on where we are, where Leeds are, and what if Leeds don't get promoted, we've obviously got a really good chance of keeping them then. But obviously, if they get promoted back into the Premier League, they'll want him back, and even if he wants to come back to Everton, it'll be very, very difficult with the financial set of circumstances. But Gomez is one, because Gomez is like one of the very last of the very high earners. So from that point of view, the club are just not going to keep him. And I think then next summer it's the likes of Michael Keane is in his last. I'll just give you a list of who's out of contract next year.
In 25.
So 25 in 18 months' time. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Decore, Ben Godfrey, Michael Keane, Lewis Dobbin, João Virginia, and Onyango. So some big names in there as well that Everton are going to have to start getting sorted out one way or another, what they're going to do with them. Someone like Ben Godfrey, I imagine that's why Everton would be inviting offers now, because he's one that you'd look at. Go on.
I saw he was linked to go to Roma or Spurs.
He's been linked with Newcastle today, so he'd be one that Everton would probably encourage, because going into the last 18 months of his contract, Everton would be looking at that. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Everton would be looking at sitting down and doing a contract with him and finding out if that's plausible. Decore, well, he's only just sort of signed a new contract, so that'll probably be a very fluid situation. He probably won't want to leave, and Everton probably won't want him to leave. He's only just turned 31 on New Year's Day. Michael Keane, I imagine he'll go. And maybe in the summer they'll look at spinning that one round. Lewis Dobbin, probably offer him a new contract. I'd imagine. João Virginia, 24. Is he ever going to take over from Jordan Pickford? I can't imagine. But again, that's 18 months to figure that one out. So,
well, how old's Jordan now? 30 or 31?
Yeah.
I think he's 30.
But is João Virginia ever going to take over from him? That's the thing,
No, I'm just thinking of Jordan Pickford anyway, just as a goal. I mean, he's 29, Pickford, so he's 30 in March.
Yeah.
So
Do you think he'd
31.
leave? Because I know he didn't almost leave, but he was rumored to leave this summer, just because we need the money. But I mean, I don't really think his place in the England squad's under like any scrutiny.
No, it's not.
He's like clear above everyone else. Just a little bit of bias there, but it is what it is.
That could change in the summer once the Euros will be playing. But I imagine he'd target, certainly for England, he'd target the next World Cup to be his sort of the point where that he, you know, in the next World Cup was that 2.5 years. He'll be 32. Only in the next. They'll be 32.
Yeah,
32 next World Cup's not that old, you know.
No.
So I think that's the one where they'll go, I've definitely got another World Cup in me as number one. So we'll want to be playing at the Everton or somewhere even higher, whether that happens. But I don't see any issues. He's contracted till 2027. So I don't see any issues. Summer 2027's a big one.
Is it? Yeah.
Amadou Onana, Jared Brandtwaite, Jordan Pickford, Beto, Dwight McNeil, Nathan Patterson and Schmidt are all on contract in 2027. So that's the big one.
So we should start worrying already about that. 3.5 years away. No.
Yeah, so club might be in a completely different place by then. Well, it will. It'll be in a new ground for at least, so.
Yeah.
And the last thing I wanted to talk have you guys seen the rumors around Mykolenko getting looked at by teams in Germany? Do you think he would leave in this situation? I would hope not, just because he's actually become my favorite player this season. Like, the turnaround he's had since he started here, and the level of effort you see him play is crazy.
Yeah. Number one, he ain't earning any more money in Germany than he's earning in his next contract at Everton. No. Not a chance. He's another one where he's one where you look at it and just think his next contract at Everton would be worth a good contract, and I can't see anyone else offering him anywhere near in Germany what Everton could offer him. And I think what he's done is he's put himself in a position. His contract runs out in 2026, as does James Garner and James Tarkowski. So he's got
contract updates with Penn.
Yeah, that's my new role. So he's got 2 years. So Everton will be looking at it and thinking, right, offer him a new contract at maybe the end of the season or maybe in a year's time, whatever. He's in good form, but
who's going to buy Mykolenko?
That's it. What are you going to get
for money that Everton are going to want?
Yeah. Is anyone going to pay like 50 million for Mykolenko? Because
we bought him for 25, right, or 23?
17.
Well, it
was about 12 rising to 7 or 18. That'll be it. It won't get higher than that because we won't be in the Champions League.
He's 25 in May. He's 25 in May. Everton will look to tie him down to another contract, and I just don't see anywhere in Europe that is going to offer.
No one's paying 30 million for him.
No one's paying 30 million, and no one's giving him a better contract than Everton can do the next contract. He's one of those players that runs through brick walls. Everton can rely on him.
Wants to do well.
Yeah, and he's playing for his country, and I think, he seems like a no frills kind of guy as well. Just dead honest, dead sound. Wants to have a good career, and let's not get ahead. This is a lad that certainly nobody was talking about him leaving Everton to go upwards till just recently. So I have no danger that Mykolenko is not going to be an Everton player for as long as Everton want him to be an Everton player.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. Well, thank you guys for your time and have a happy New Year.
Cheers, Eddie. All the best.
Cheers, Eddie.
Good.
Fingers crossed.
Cheers.
All
mate.
the best for 24 and hope your college team improves, mate.
I hope so.
Take it easy. See you later, mate. Ta-ra.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those links with just like saying he could be in danger. I was just like, behave yourselves.
Nonsense.
Behave yourselves.
you'd always get that's football, innit? You'd always get people who link players with everyone, won't they? The way it is. Yeah, Royal Blue said Townsend looked like he'd run through brick walls for you. Maxter says Ned is the sound man who doesn't even turn his microphone on. And Emma says sound expert, actually.
Yeah, he's a sound expert.
She also says, Happy New Year, guys. Any resolutions? To be better. There you go.
To not fall down manholes.
That's a good one.
I just think that is just safe, isn't
Should
it?
be a life rule.
Yeah.
Royal Blue says, is this Kai Rooney stuff real?
I can't see it. And the reason why I can't see it is because he said that they were signing
Raul Jimenez.
And that's the reason why I don't think it's
the
real.
reason why I don't see it is doesn't sound anything like
but
Wayne Rooney.
Wasn't that just somebody just putting a voice note out there of what he'd said?
Of what he'd actually said.
Yeah. No,
but then again, you never know. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he did. Maybe
the
it was.
goalie is fat.
Maybe they are rubbish.
On Ned's diet.
Maybe they are rubbish. They're certainly playing like they're rubbish. So
you're on a great diet. Yeah. What have you eaten today?
What have you just opened?
Dairy milk.
Oh.
A little tiny bit.
What were you eating before? For your lunch? No.
I had an apple.
No. Yeah. Forget the apple.
Yeah.
A ham sandwich that looked like it's something you store a extra, like one of those phone chargers, portable phone charger. It was like this. It was like a flatbread pizza, but it was a ham sandwich. Honestly.
What you have for breakfast?
Cereal.
What kind of cereal?
Like crunchy nut.
Crunchy nut, yeah. What are you having for tea?
I had an Actimel. I don't know, I might get something from the Black Horse.
And he had an Actimel. So far you've had crunchy nut cornflakes, which prompts a huge glucose spike for you.
I'm on the Black Horse.
Who you going the glass horse with?
It's Wednesday.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Back amongst
hang on. No, wait, whoa. Just tell us about some of the drama that's happened to your quiz team.
Well, it's kind of been, like, disbanded a bit.
Why?
Because two of the members have, like fell out.
Yeah,
over
why?
It's I can't say.
Why?
Because they fell out.
Yeah, because they were going out with each other.
Yeah, and so...
Sure. Drama.
And unfortunately, the member and his dad are coming are really good team members.
Yeah.
Last week...
He was going out with his dad.
That's what I said, yes.
Last week, we finished 7th.
No, because just reverse. Hang on, just reverse. He was going out with his dad.
His dad used to come part of the team.
Well, that was the problem, surely.
Just like...
So who was going out with who? His dad was going out with his girlfriend?
No, what's going on?
Tell us what the story is.
So, 2 members on the team...
Yeah, the dad and the son were going out with each other. No. I thought just because it was St. Helens. Go on, carry on. Yeah.
And the fella who's in part of this relationship used to bring his dad as well. And his dad was really good at the quiz.
So why can't the dad... Oh, the boy's not coming now?
No.
So it's just the girl?
Yeah.
Well, can't you ask the girl to leave?
Yeah, and get the two back. Are the two better than the girl?
Can't the 2 become 1?
No.
Spice Girls said it
Very
best.
much.
Thankfully, they still got me, but I'm not really...
And they finished 7th.
Yeah.
Well, I was poor last week because I was just like...
It feels as though the dad's the best player, and you've ostracised the dad.
I was trying to watch Everton at the same time, but I was also falling asleep. Fell asleep like 70 minutes in the pub.
Why? How did you fall asleep in a pub?
Whilst having a quiz.
While
watching
Everton were on.
Last night, I was up all night thinking. So I ended up...
For Shane Duffy?
Grabbed my phone at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's a voice note, my mate asking him, what's this song?
It's Labby Siffy.
Elbow.
I didn't know that.
It's elbow. Why didn't you just message me? I'd have been up. I could have told you that.
I think I was still awake at 3.
So I just had to sleep.
Why didn't you just message your new bed?
She would have been asleep.
Because
so she is
out with the fella's dad. Fair enough.
There you go. What drama at the quiz team? No, everybody walks in going, won again, didn't we?
Got a points deduction,
yes, he was like,
oh, I've not even told you about the birth centre, right? So I'm playing
after what?
For all these old people singing, but birth, they're having the quiz.
Yeah.
Like, the quiz master from the club was doing it, right?
Yeah.
They all got in teams.
We should all keep it in the family, don't you?
I thought
Quiz master from
I'll go on a team on my own. Right?
Yeah.
You
went in.
Sorry, that's not a team.
No, that's just you.
That's just you.
My team name was I'm Not Ed Sheeran, right? And I won the quiz.
Oh.
He said, like, but then he deducted.
So you were in an old people's home and you won the quiz and you were celebrating.
He said, you can't win it. I said, why? He said, because these are all old. It's not fair. I went, well, they've got more experience than me.
Yeah, but they were all asleep.
They weren't that old. So I won the quiz.
It can't have been the great. If you beat people who've been on this earth for a long time in a quiz, it can't have been the best quiz.
It was a good quiz.
Must have been
like
a
The only one I got wrong was like, what's the traditional Christmas meat? I only got it wrong.
Ruben says
Turkey.
He got it wrong. Goose.
Well, to be fair,
They talked about goosing quite a lot.
Goose
today,
has been
hasn't
on
it?
your mind.
Goose has been mentioned. Ruben says one for the summer, 23-year-old Bruges left back Maxim de Kuiper. It only cost buttons. That's good that they're now dealing in buttons because we might actually have some of them. Chris Lambert says Cub McNeil plays a number 10. But then he'd play off the left. Don't say Danjuma.
I mean, he could. But the manager's preferred Harrison there, hasn't he? Because he's got 2 feet. That's the problem when you play central. You have to use both feet. Otherwise, you'll just keep going to the left.
There you go. Eugene thinks Jack Harrison will sign a new full contract with Everton this summer.
Maybe. Not sure.
We'll have to see, won't we? We'll have to see. Barry P says sounds like a disaster waiting to happen then, with us being skint and players leaving.
Well, they're leaving over 3 years.
It all gets better on July the 1st this year. The numbers get better.
Does it?
Well, apparently it does, yeah. But that's obviously the end of the year.
We're cutting our wage bills dramatically. We're not going to have players who are all on. We're not going to have players who are all on £100,000, left, right, and centre. And if they are, they're going to be the ones that absolutely deserve it, like a Jordan Pickford. They, you don't mind paying players who play every single week. No. And could get that money anywhere
and do
else.
Well.
Yeah. So, right, we got Abby.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hello, Abby.
Hello, Abby. You all right?
Yeah, did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah,
yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, wasn't bad.
Happy New Year to you and yours.
Yeah. We had a good one.
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent. What do you want to say then, Ab?
I just wanted to say, what's your thoughts on? Do you think there's any substance in the rumours about Lingard?
No, I don't. I think and the reason I say this is because I saw someone making up rumours on Twitter about this. One of our friendly
Tony Campari?
No, it wasn't Tony Campari. He only makes rumours about other clubs.
Oh, yeah.
One of the people who likes to make rumours about us.
Oh, okay.
I seen him making something the other day where someone linked me in it. And I just thought, yeah. So I saw that and I thought, these things start like that, or someone puts something out and then there's been other people saying that Lingard people are trying to get the message out to people that he's available, so therefore that's sometimes how these rumours. I just don't see him as a Sean Dyche type player, and I think with us already having somebody like Danjuma, who's clearly not his kind of player, I just can't see it. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen because it's a long month and things can happen, and he is available. But for me, I think this is a rumour that comes from Lingard's side, not Everton's side, and you'll get lot. You get a lot of them this month, don't you?
Yeah, no, I think that too. I don't. If we didn't want him in the summer, why are we going to want him now?
Yeah. I mean, there is obviously the case of we haven't got lots of players, and true. But he just doesn't strike me as a Sean Dyche player.
No, so I would say if anybody strikes me as a Sean Dyche type of player, it would probably be somebody like Brownhill at Burnley.
Yeah, who we've been linked with. Yeah,
who is out of contract in the summer. There's no word whether he wants to stay or whether he wants to go. So do we put in an offer for him in January and say offer Michael Keane or even Ben Godfrey on loan?
I think the only problem with that is that you are sort of strengthening a rival, and it's the vice versa. Would they want to sell to us when we'd have to look at that? And I think this is something that's been said by Sean Dyche. Could pick up the phone to that lad, couldn't he, at any time and go, "Do you fancy signing for us in the summer?" And the lad could go, "Yeah," and that's it. That's all that would need to happen. And as long as he knows we want him, and as long as we know that he wants to come, then that's it. And I think we've already said, Kevin Fowler's already said, we're not going to sign players this month through emotion or because we've lost the last game. It's all structured. So for me, I think he's one in the summer that if he's not signing a contract, then and we want him, I think we'll get him. Not that it's the most glamorous signing in the world, but if he's someone who comes in and who can play every game for you and is a squad player, then it does make sense. Again, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but you've got to just manage where we are. So for me, I think he's one that could happen in the summer, but I can't imagine it happening now.
What about somebody like Dendoncker? Because I know he's got in the last few games, but he's not getting in regularly, is he?
Go on, Baz. What's your Dendoncker?
He can play in multiple positions over the pitch.
Yeah, well, Everton tried to get him in August, and they pulled the plug late on, and he got in the side a couple of weeks ago, scored a goal actually, didn't he? The other week for them. He'd be good. He'd be a good one to have, but I don't see Villa, the position Villa are in at the moment, and doing really well. And doing well
I don't see them giving anybody away.
No.
I don't. But I'm just saying, if in an ideal world, if he was available, would you?
Oh yeah, he'd be good for us. So certainly alone until the summer, he'd be excellent. You know, physically, he's a good size. He gets around the pitch well. Play a couple of positions, he'd be excellent. But I just don't see Villa letting him go. To be honest.
No. I think you've got more chance of contacting somebody like Arteta and asking for Nelson or Smith Rowe on loan than you have Dendoncker.
Absolutely, you have. Because they
and I'd take either one of those because I rate those young guys quite highly. I just don't think they're good enough for the Arsenal squad as it is at the moment.
Where do you think that we were talking about this before, me and Baz? So say we got Smith Rowe, or say we were trying to convince him. Where do you think Smith Rowe would get in to the Everton team?
I think he would be. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I don't think he'd be a starter, but I certainly think he's good enough for the bench to come off the bench in place of somebody like. Is he right-footed or is he left-footed, Smith Rowe?
He's right-footed.
See, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because we were talking about this before. We were saying he's a number 10, but I just don't think he'd get into our team. And by the way, I think he's a fantastic player. But I'm not sure Sean Dyche would drop Decore for Smith Rowe. And then it's could
he play there when Decore, give us that option when Decore is not playing?
But that's the risk, isn't it? How do you attract a player to a football club by saying to him, well, you might play, but you might not play? Or, you know what I mean? It's a really difficult one, man. I think that's almost like the conundrum we've got if we're trying to bring players in. We've got players in some of these positions that the manager clearly really likes and isn't prepared to drop them for basically anything unless they get injured. And then you're asking a player to wait till a player is injured, and he might never get injured.
Yeah. Or what? I know. I don't like saying the youngsters because I don't think some of them are ready. But if we can't get any, this is a problem with January as well, isn't it? It's if you want to get somebody, you have to pay the money, and we don't have the money. You know, the money that it would take a lot of clubs to get rid of players like Smith Rowe or, and we also, we need to get rid of some of the higher earners. Will somebody like Andre Gomez leave this month, or will we keep him until the end of the season because of his injuries? But also because actually he's an extra body in midfield, whether it's right That's not me being sentimental. It's me being practical. He's an extra body in midfield when we are a light squad as it is.
Go on, Buzz.
I mean, it depends what monetary-wise, doesn't it, though? Because if Everton got a loan fee, say, or Benfica, I don't know whether they'd pay for Andre Gomez, but say they offered £1 million for Andre Gomez to take him now. So I know I've seen things with Everton want 4 million, whatever, but if Everton, he's got 6 months left on a contract. If they offered £1.5 million to take Andre Gomez, and that's also his wages going, then that means Everton have got a little bit of wiggle room, then to do something of their own. And therefore, I know what you're saying. Do you sacrifice him and the cover that he offers to the end of the season? But Everton will be looking at it differently. If they've got a list of players who are available and they need a bit of extra cash.
No. As I say, I understand the whole thing with Everton needing to see who they can get rid of this month. Andre Gomez and Ben Godfrey seem the most likely.
Yeah.
And the ones that are more likely to be available. Danjuma isn't our player anyway. He's only on loan. I think he'll go back because he's not playing.
Possibly.
Quite possibly. Or are we going to play him more in this half? I just don't see that he fits in Dyche's system. I think it's a case that he doesn't quite work hard enough off the ball.
That's correct. Absolutely correct.
From what I've seen of his heat maps and everything, he's not like a Dwight McNeil and Harrison, who do their fair share of running back and defending.
Yeah.
He prefers to be forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's the manager. The manager will have all of those numbers and know who does what and who works hard and who doesn't work hard and who they can get rid of and all of that, and that'll shape the way they do their work this month. But I think if you're Sean Dyche, of course, managers always want players, always. If Everton could get someone he thinks would make a difference, they'll get him. And someone like Smith Rowe does predominantly play off the left for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Then I think, but he can also play off the striker. I think if he's available and Everton could get him, I think Everton should go and get him, because he potentially would give Dyche a nice problem.
It'd give us something different to what McNeil gives us on that side, because let's face it, McNeil hasn't got a right foot.
No.
He's got one to stand on, but not one to use.
Exactly.
Exactly. He's like me on the other side. I have no left foot to speak of with football. I'm all right-footed.
There you go. Maybe we get you in, off that coming in off the left.
I'm not quick enough.
Oh, that's the only downfall.
Well, I mean, there's a few in our squad who aren't quick enough, so you could fit in. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm probably around Gomez's speed. So
fair play.
Okay. At least you're honest.
I used to be a keeper, and that's why I was a keeper. I've got quick, short bursts that I can come out, and I'm the mad one who likes to put my body on the line.
Fair play, Tim.
Fair play. That's what you've got to do as a goalie.
Sorry?
That's what you've got to do as a goalkeeper, Ab.
Yeah.
Got to put your body on the line. You've got to.
Yeah.
Got to be brave.
It's why sometimes I'm a bit, as much as I will criticise Jordan, I don't go over the top with it like some people do, because I understand how difficult it can be sometimes as a goalkeeper to cover. You can't cover every bit of the goal. It's not big enough. And that's also why you've got defenders. Set your defenders up to go on the front and the back post. The tall ones, because I play five-a-side football. I'm only like 5'1". So
that'd be an issue in a real goal, lab, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Even in women's football, it would be an issue. So yeah, so it's. I think it'll be an interesting month.
Yeah,
definitely.
Always is.
I have seen something about Jensen Metcalf for potentially being on the bench for this game against Palace.
Well, he's been on for a few of the games, hasn't he? So
Yeah, and what's his name? Okaronfu as well.
Well, we'll see.
Like
Yeah.
I like the look of him. He looks like he could be, if developed right, he could be kind of in the Kevin Campbell mode.
I mean, you've thrown a name out. He's a bit more of a wide player, to be honest.
Bit more wide.
He plays in wide areas and comes in off the flanks.
He's more of a wide forward, isn't he? So he'd be more of a Pinar, wouldn't he?
Again, you've thrown out big names here. You're throwing out Big Kev was an important striker. Pinar, incredibly gifted.
I'm not saying he's like that. I'm just trying to.
I know what you're trying to do. More like Kevin Morales, that kind of player.
Yeah, Kev. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, guys. I know
nice one, Abby.
I'll let you go.
Lovely to speak to you, Ab. Thanks for the call. All the best for 24.
All the best.
See you.
Take care. Bye, you're up. Right, hang on. Before we go on. It's Glenn Watson, Premier member, long-time Premier member. It's his birthday today.
Oh, is it?
He's called you Peter McPartland, Van.
Yeah.
I'm Baz Cassie Cass, Nedda the Shredder. It's his birthday today, and it's one of the big ones.
Okay.
30 today.
Yeah. He sent in a Tuesday topic yesterday, and we weren't quite sure whether he was being held captive.
Okay.
He had a look in his eye that said, "Save me."
Okay.
He looked like he was reading off. There was someone looked like someone was just off camera, and he was just with a card. He did have all his own teeth, but he had a haunting look.
Was it help me without saying help me? That kind of look.
The general look Ned has most days.
Vacant.
Yeah. Okay. Like I'm not all here. I'm somewhere else. Yeah. Maybe in a quiz, or in a old people's homes, or in a Walsers, or
buying boots, or paying £30 for a duck.
Looking at some jade. I don't know.
You know,
whatever it is.
No. Green, like a green.
Yeah, like a green jade. Yeah. You know.
Don't know.
We started the show. There was 2 minutes to the show started, and you realised there wasn't a camera.
No, I did. No, I was just so busy.
But you didn't think a camera was a priority.
I do one thing at a time.
Was a key element of a live show. Dick L's in the comments before we carry on. It's not Tuesday, but Dick is here. The RS have been insufferable at work this week. Why do we have to lose every single game over Christmas? Why can't we just be a normal team and win some and lose some? Do you think the Reds are actually going to sign Kylian Mbappe? Apparently they're getting them done, and we're getting Carvalho on loan. Zero chance of either of them things happening, I imagine. Don't know. Dick does let himself be bullied by Reds in work. Just ignore them. Peter Finn says, would you guys sell to get a new player this window?
No.
And Paul Galt says, have Everton bought the land off Terry's timber?
Yeah, they have. Bought it ages ago.
There you go. They're the pertinent questions that needed answering, and you've answered them.
I have.
Elsewhere, Celtic Vape congratulates me on me Dr. Pepper. Zero effect. Ned's a sausage, says iconic football shit.
That's true.
Ruben is pleased. Ruben is pleased that there was a female caller. Absolutely. Let's get some more of them.
Yeah.
People saying no way to Lingard at all. Jack Games said Smith Rowe would put Dukes on the bench for weeks. What do you know? I don't know. He's good. Where are we? Yeah. Ned is keeping his eye on his dad. Joe says, you lads watch The Traitors. New series starts tonight. It does. I'll be checking it out. It was good last year. Ian Barron wishes everyone a happy new year. And Craig Kerr says the same as well. And Emma's done heart eyes.
Oh, yeah.
But that can only be for Ned.
Yeah.
Can't be for anything else, I imagine. She's in love with Ned, which is fine.
You were on the screen.
I didn't realise
Well, if you are, why have you taken yourself off the screen?
No, I don't think I was, but...
What's this was?
What else was there?
What's this was? Was?
What's happening here?
Was?
How would you say was?
Was? What was not was?
So Emma, just confirm that it's Ned you've got heart eyes for. That'd be great.
Just confirm that.
Oh, sorry, it was my dick elbow.
Oh, the old...
But I think she's imagining Ned's face while I'm doing Dick's L's voice.
She can't get enough of the Dick L voice.
And Ned's face, apparently. For fair play, Emma. We've
Jake?
all got crushes.
Have we got Jake? Let's get Jake.
We've got Jake, have we? Okay. Jake, are you there and what do you want to say? Hello.
Great conversationist. Jake is.
Jake, fair play. Jake just wanted to say hello. No issue. You still there, Jake?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Go on, can I hear you now, mate? What do you want to say?
Yeah,
No, you've gone again,
He's
Jake.
on a mobile, isn't he? He's on a mobile. He's on a mobile.
Jake, just stand in one place and don't move. Can we go again, Jake? Come on. We can do this, Jake.
Jake's on a mobile.
Ned, get it stable. Get it stable. Get Jake stable and we'll go back.
Wi-Fi.
We'll go back.
Definitely.
Where are
It's
we?
definitely on 3.
Yeah. Elevate says, will we be back to full strength for the Villa game?
Hopefully. Well, no, because, depends, doesn't it? Just kind of Gay will have gone there.
But we should have the core back. We might have Ashley Young back in the squad by then. That's it, really, isn't it? Because obviously Gay won't be around, will he? Peter Beryl says, sorry to say, lads, but I did call it with the corrupt league and the referees. And I fear for us, to be honest. Fair play, mate.
He's gone there.
You've gone there. I don't fear for us in the slightest, to be fair.
He wanted to bring the mood down, and I feel he has.
Oh, yeah. Richard Dean says, is it Rich? I don't think it's Richie we met in America.
San Diego Richie Dean?
No, I don't think so.
Richie Dean?
Yep,
Pickleball Richie Dean?
I don't think it's that Richard Dean. No.
Just checking.
But there is Richard Dean. Says, Happy New Year, lads. We shouldn't go anywhere near Lingard. All he's interested in is money. And yes, Richard, happy birthday for yesterday. Hope you had a cracker. Paul TV says, Dr. Pepper is so misunderstood, you know. Absolutely.
Is it misunderstood?
I think it is.
Is it?
Where are we?
Isn't it one of the staples of the drinking world?
I don't know. Possibly.
I mean, it comes after the big ones, of course.
It's overtook them for me, but that's just a personal opinion. So yeah, Emma, when I'm doing Dick L's voice, Emma isn't imagining Ned. She said, "Fair play, fair play." Is it Dick L you're imagining then? And what does Dick L look like when I'm doing his voice? That's making you have heart eyes. Tell me that one, Emma. Tell me that one. Who are you picturing there? I think it might be Pet. Sophie says, "Did you see Dyche's comments about players being sold today? Makes me think Onana could go."
No.
I don't think Everton would sell Amadou Onana this month. I think they get more for him in the summer.
Yeah, after the Euros. What's up, Ned?
Sharpie just left.
Oh, Sharpie left.
He'll be back.
Came in.
Sharpie is back.
Sharpie.
He came in like a ball.
Like a what?
A Sharpie never knew.
Sharpie.
Came in.
Wait for his questions.
Okay. I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know what Sharpie's doing. He'll be just recalibrating.
Yeah.
He'll be back like Jake.
Very much like
the Renegade Master. Rob says sell Dom and buy Garassi from Stuttgart. We could have all had Garassi anyway. Yeah. Couldn't we? Could have both of them.
Is it true that he's got a buyout clause of 15 million? Something like that.
Get him in. Manchester United looking at him as well. Bill says, lads, just in relation to all the latest FFP news, the Premier League going after the likes of us, Forest and Wolves, do the Premier League not realise as soon as they want to, the slice 6 or 7 and drop them for the Super League? And then where would that leave the Premier League? They need the likes of us to keep any form of decent league going. Anyway, Happy New Year,
Do we
boys.
really make the Premier League a decent league?
We would do, though, if they went. The big name, with the last big names, aren't we?
But they can't leave. They can leave.
They can leave.
But they can't go to the Super League.
No, they can't play in the both
play in
teams.
both. So Listen, next year with the Champions League, they're getting the cake and they're eating it. So
for now, yeah. Gavin says loads of clubs are looking at Godfrey, but not Keane. Yeah, Dyche plays Keane.
Oh, I thought you said they were all looking at, but they weren't keen on him.
Eddie says it must have been Eddie from before. Says Dr Pepper was made here in Texas, in Waco.
Look what happened to Waco.
Richard says it is Richie from San Diego.
Yeah,
it's because I can't see your avatar, but you're not playing pickleball.
I give you all the titles.
You're not playing pickleball.
San Diego Richie, Top Gun Richie, Pickleball Richie.
Richie, who looked like he wanted to snap Ned in half in Minnesota.
But that wasn't an exclusive feature, though.
No.
A lot of people looked like they wanted to snap him in half in Minnesota. Quite a few people wanted. It was a good job we were in St. Paul's, and that is the home of all the medical stuff in the Twin Cities.
And nuns. So there was prayers to stop them getting blasted. Yeah.
And also doctors.
Yeah.
Because at one point, you looked at him and I thought, Baz is going to jail. I genuinely thought that.
Yeah. They didn't know how to spell eyesight.
I nearly.
I honestly thought
that was the day that I snapped.
Baz is going down for murder.
I went out and walked on my own
in the heat,
in about 95 degrees heat. I had to go for a walk in Minnesota into the financial district. Went down a couple of roads. Maybe I wish you were with me, just for a little bit of backup.
I was probably sick myself.
I had to have a little jog back.
Yeah. Because Ned can't spell. Because Ned can't spell.
And then challenged the fact that he couldn't spell.
I just feel bad for Richie, because the first time Richie met me, I was bladdered. And he was talking to me, and I was stood there thinking, am I in America?
Wasn't this like 4 days into being in America, or 5 days into being in?
Sharpie's back, by the way.
Sharpie is back. Ian Barron says Jordan Pickford made his first league debut for Darlington FC back in the day. He was on loan from Sunderland. Ian, of course, is a Darlington fan. There you go.
Well, we got Sharpie.
Jake's back as well, so we'll get Jake on.
Okay, well, you tell the people.
You're in charge. You're the producer.
Emma's gone very quiet.
Oh yeah.
Emma's gone very quiet. She's blushing. She hasn't told me about the Dick L voice.
No.
But fair play to her.
Jake, go on, mate.
Go on, Jake.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Jake. Now stay there. Don't move. Don't move, Jake.
I was right. I was on my phone, so I've powered up the laptop now.
Go ahead, mate. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the programme today, but I was just going to touch
Thanks for the support, Jake. Means a lot.
Already. I've caught the Baz flu. I've been dying for 3 days.
Mate. I got it. I don't know whether I said this. So the last game, City, the lad who sits next to me, Andrew, he wasn't at the Fulham game. He said to me, after the Chelsea game, I went home and tested positive for COVID. I was like, nice one, mate, because I got sick a few days later and had that silly cough. It's gone now. You'll be fine. Just get some night nurse so you can sleep in the night and just get loads of vitamin C down your neck, mate. You'll be fine.
I've tried everything, but...
Yeah, night nurse, mate, so you can sleep is the big one. But go on, mate. Anyway, what do you want to say?
Yeah, you should probably touched on it today, but I was just going to say about Ben Godfrey. Just think he's had a fair crack at it, really, because he started, I don't know if it was last season, I think the first game of last season was at Lampard. He started, didn't he? Broke his leg after frigging 10 minutes against Chelsea. Say as he's played most of his time at Everton out of position, hasn't he, really? And he's had some good performances at left-back under the likes of Ancelotti and that, but he's still a decent age, isn't he? And personally, when we do switch to a back 3 or 5, whatever you want to call it, I'd rather him be in there than over Keane myself.
I mean, I thought he was excellent at Burnley in the win. I thought he'd give us that. He made that brilliant challenge just before half-time to stop them getting a goal back right on half-time. I think in a back 3, I think he would be ideal alongside Tarkowski and Branthwaite because he brings you that.
He looked like he was stuck in the mud against Wolves.
Yeah, he looked knackered, didn't he? So I agree with you there. I do think he probably hasn't been given a good enough run at centre-back, but I also think he's never really had strong games at centre-back, though. I think his best performances for Everton have come at left-back. maybe just because he's played more games there. Maybe if he got in and he said, you're playing the next 10 games, he might settle into it. But it's a tough one, isn't it? Because I certainly wouldn't be breaking up Tarkowski and Branthwaite to put him in a rush.
No, definitely not.
So what do we do with him? Like tomorrow night, I think me and Ped were talking on the preview, saying the manager might look to give Tarkowski a rest tomorrow because he's absolutely knackered. You know, he's played every minute basically, and Ben Godfrey should be someone who's given a go just to see whether he can get his eye back in and give the manager something to think about. But it's difficult because Ped, we have generally looked better with a back four, haven't we? And does he break up those two centre backs?
Yeah, the manager has just made a choice, hasn't he? He knows what he wants. Ben Godfrey hasn't been around to establish himself. I think he's been a bit unlucky at times, certainly breaking his leg. You know, and Branthwaite, and obviously we all wanted Branthwaite to come in and play, and sometimes that can just happen for someone, isn't it? They get in the side they're not in the side, and then other things happen. Someone takes their place, and then before you know it, they've only got 18 months left on a contract, and you have to make a decision. And
is that how long he's got left?
That's what he's got. Yeah. That's what we were saying about before. We were saying like if someone is offering $9 million, Everton gonna have to make a serious decision about that soon because.
How much did we pay for him?
Around 20 wasn't it?
So he has got potential, though, hasn't he? Definitely.
Well, he's 25, though, isn't he? That's the problem. Yeah, he's 25, and he's got 18 months left on a contract. And what you imagine is like that next contract is gonna take him into his 30s. And you think, so you're going to have to make a definite decision. And I don't know as a football club whether we're in that position. And
would you sell him for 10 mil?
Yeah, I would. I honestly think, personally, that because it's like he's missed a chunk of time where his development was really key. Yeah. And I just think that missing that and then not being playing games, he's and don't forget, a part of this will be like them deciding whether it was worth him. Like, because there are some players, of course, and we've seen that with Branthwaite this season, where you think, put them in the side, they're raw, but we can see that they're going somewhere. Maybe they've looked at Godfrey and went, he's only ever going to be a utility player, which, of course, being a utility player has cost him as well. Holgate spoke about this as well. He said, I was happy to go in and play right back for Everton. He said, it's cost me probably my top flight career because I'm never going to be a centre-back at a top club because I never said, no, I'm a centre-back. And I know Holgate, we actually spoke to Holgate's dad once at Finch Farm. We just bumped into him and he had to start chatting. He was just like, I need to nail down his future. I need to speak to... It was about Brands. He was going in for a meeting with Brands and he said, I'm going to speak to him. And he said he wants to play centre-back. And he said that's where he sees his career. But obviously Carlo came in and things changed because he was playing right back and he
got injured when he was playing centre back.
That's what I'm saying. And obviously Godfrey breaking his leg has changed the narrative. And when he was asked to play left back under Carlo, he did it because he just wanted to play. And it's unfortunately, it's going to cost them, I think, an opportunity to play for Everton long term. But someone else might see the value in his pace and his strength and go, we can utilise that. Maybe like you just said then, in a back three. We don't really play a back three. So maybe he would suit playing somewhere where he's the
Spurs are looking at him, as well. And they play a back three. And I think it's someone like Tottenham, if he's got the others with him, like Van der Ven or something like that.
For that, or is that just a rumour?
Well, that's been linked, hasn't it? They've been linked. They want, but they're in a tricky situation, Newcastle, because they can't spend a penny without selling. There was talk today of Lewis Miley having to return to Chelsea to free up some money. Now Newcastle have said they want to keep him because he's only on loan. They've got an option, haven't they, for 35 million in the summer, but not Lewis Miley, Lewis Hall, sorry, the left back. But so Newcastle, just because of PSR rather, they can't really spend any money. So they'd have to sell someone. I'm not saying they can't sell someone. They might have interest in a couple of their players, but it looks as though they'd have to sell to get rid of him to be able to bring a Godfrey in. Whereas Spurs, I know Spurs are looking at the lad who we'd looked at in Genoa, who I was hoping we'd be able to convince to come here once 777 come in, but Spurs are looking at him. But Godfrey had been linked because they do play a three, and therefore he would probably, have more chance of playing at Tottenham, ironically, who are a better side than
He'll
us.
go somewhere and we'll all go, wow.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just a shame, isn't it? Because he did have potential, didn't he?
Yeah.
And you look at the likes of, like, I know it's different, like, but Tom Davies over the years, where like he's had so many managers and he comes in and he says, you're playing 10, then you're playing defensive mid, then you're a box-to-box. It seems to be like it's happened so much over the years at Everton where players, they just don't get nailed down to a position. Or, like you said, then he has become a utility player, and it's to the detriment of his career, isn't it? So it's frustrating, but
look at Mykhalenko. Mykhalenko, who I said loads of, I never rated him at all, and suddenly he's become one of our most important players, and simply because he has played for 2 years. When maybe if he played for a better team, he would have been on the bench.
The same, wasn't he?
Yeah, and McNeil in a shorter space. They've played and they've got better because they're playing every week. And there's been absolutely no choice, and they've played in their position, and no one's took the place off them, and they've played through all, for Mykhalenko, two relegation fights, and he's come out the other end looking like a really solid, good Premier League player. And who's to say if Ben Godfrey hadn't been left in the Everton team for 2-3 years because there was no other choice, that the same wouldn't have happened to him. But it just hasn't happened for them, and that's what happens, isn't it? That's simply what happens in football. You go somewhere else and you get an opportunity and you take it. And at Everton for these players, it just hasn't worked.
Yeah, I just want to touch on something else just before.
Go on, mate. Yeah, go on.
What would you do when Decore isn't available? Because earlier on in the season, I was saying at times he shouldn't have been starting at the likes of like the games we lost at home early on, where we just didn't have a clue how to break anyone down. Really, I know we had chances and that, but there was times where, because the pitch is so tight at Goodison, sometimes you do need that bit of creativity just in front of the midfield. Where Decore, he's not the most crisp of passes, is he? You know what I mean? He has a good eye for the pass. He'll work hard and he'll get in there and slam on in now and again. But I think we do need a creative midfielder myself.
He's got to play, hasn't he, when he's available? Because, like you just said, we haven't got that creative player. That makes it very difficult. We've been linked with we've been speaking about like Smith Rowe, if we could get him on loan. If we had someone else, you might be tempted now and again to just rotate, just to give Decore a breather. But there just doesn't seem to be a plan, does there? Without him, we don't. And this was something we were talking about last year when he got suspended for those 3 games. Was if he goes out the team, you need to have a plan for him, for the team when he's not there. And again, I don't know whether this is because we've had other injuries, but it it doesn't look like we've got a plan for when we don't have him. And that's all really I'd like from Sean Dyche, is to have some kind of idea of what he's going to do when he's not in the team. I don't know whether... Now, that might be Jack Harrison, and that might depend on us having Ashley Young to play right midfield, but we haven't got Ashley Young to play right midfield, and we haven't got anyone else to play right midfield. And so what you do put Dwight McNeil on the right and then put Dan Juma. Well, then suddenly you're changing 3 positions for 1. But I just think he needs a plan, and it's definitely been like his Achilles heel, hasn't he, while he's been the Everton manager, of like what to do when we haven't got him. So ideally we need a backup, we need someone else, or he needs to come up with his own sort of, I don't know, a little plan of his own to say, right, when he's not playing, Dan Juma's 100% going to be playing there, or I don't know. You'd want an attacking player, or I'm going to go and play Dom behind Beto or Beto behind Dom. But I honestly don't know what that plan is, because no one else seems to fit that role. No one else seems to be able to. It's a really difficult one, and that's why it's really hard. But Decore essentially plays in 2 positions. He plays as a centre midfielder and as a striker in the same team at the same time. And obviously the managers find that really difficult to deal with. And it might need to bring in the summer somebody else in who can take that place, but obviously play in other positions as well, I'd imagine, to get the most out of them. But it's such a hard one, that, and the manager seems to be really struggling with it.
Definitely is. We'll just change up the whole system when he isn't available, though. We'll just go to the back 3, because we have looked good in a back 3 at times, especially Villa away. Not many teams go to Villa Park and boss it the way we did in that cup game.
It's tough, isn't it? It's I don't know. Maybe Godfrey in the back three just works better than what Keane does. Although Keane did play that night at Villa Park, didn't he? I don't know. We do need an alternate to Decore, and that's the thing. Is that I'm surprised that he struggled so much again this season when we've lost Decore the way he did last season. I would have thought that was like, right, it didn't work last year when we didn't have him, so we have to try something different.
He gets into the box a lot though as well, doesn't he, Decore? So do you not think at times he could just go for the two up top and just get the bodies in there?
I think, yeah, but see, that's what I would have done this time. I think certainly on Saturday against Wolves, I'd have gone 3-5-2. It's a proper 3-5-2, and said to them, yeah, well, definitely even at half time when we just weren't in the game, I'd have gone, we're going to ask questions of them. Against City, I know we had Dom and Keane stripped at 1-1, but City then go and get the penalty. And we're 2-1 down. So he should have said, right, we're changing this. I'm going. We're 2-1 down anyway at home. We're going to play a little bit more direct with Beto and Dom and see how that goes. And he didn't. He just took Beto off and put Dom on. And I have been a little bit surprised with him there. But I think if you're looking for a Decore replacement, so to speak, or a backup or whatever, however you want to frame it, we do need someone, because there isn't many Abdoulaye Decore's around, we do need someone who can do something different then. Maybe it's someone who can put the foot on the ball in that hole. Maybe it's someone.
I think that's what we're looking at times.
No, yeah, definitely. But we just don't have them doing. That's the problem. We just don't have these players. And
he's far more...
From having Sigurdsson and Rodriguez, who both had quite a lot of quality, and they produced numbers, didn't he? Goals and assists, a lot of them, and then you went from having them to literally no one, so...
And Decore's far more effective away from Goodison than he is at Goodison. Yeah. Because I think, like you said, there's less space at home. So if teams do sit back a little bit, he gets caught between it. And because he doesn't seem to gamble at home, as in running past Dom. He's almost out the game at times, whereas like away he seems to find those pockets of space, and that's why he does seem to grab us some key and important goals. You know, one of them things, like gets us important goals.
I'll let Sharpie jump on anyway.
Nice one. Cheers, Jake. Take it easy. Get well soon, mate. Take it easy. Ta-ra, pal. Ta-ra. Phil McCauley, yes, it is 0. And them lids are annoying, to say the least.
They're for the environment. You won't say they're annoying if we were.
He's asked me about the lids. He's asked me about the lids, so there you go. I'm just answering.
You've always got to chat about the lids.
Always. We've got Sharpie, have we? Yeah.
Hello, gents. How you doing?
Hello, Sharpie. Mate. All right, mates. What do you want to say?
Oh, well, Happy New Year, first and foremost.
Happy New Year. Absolutely.
Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I won't keep you long because I know you want to get back for the darts, right? No,
I might put it on. Mate. Yeah, I might have it on.
I have not watched a second of the darts.
I'll be honest, I watched it last night because it was on, and it... Hang on a sec. Sharpie, just pause. Yeah. Sorry, Ned, what?
Not letting that little kid win.
Why? Because he's the best.
Because no.
Yeah, because don't be jealous. No, he's the best. Yeah, Sharpie, ignore him. I forgot Ned.
What's he on about?
He's bitter and jealous of a 16-year-old kid.
He's worried that young lad
will dominate that part of the world.
No, we'd get in his quiz team.
Like what? Waltzing?
Yeah.
He'd moonwalk into his
get into the quiz team and just be like, lad. Classic Ned.
Oh, no, you got to watch it. It's been brilliant, lads. The dance has been absolutely fantastic.
It's darts, mate.
No, he was great last night, to be fair.
Fellas throwing things at walls, mate.
You're not into darts, Ped. Come on,
of course I'm not into darts. Of course, mate. Listen. The minute they make a Power Wash Simulator World Championships, I'm all over it. But until that day happens, then I'm sorry. I'm not sitting there while fellas just throw little pointy things at a wall. If I wanted to do that, I could just call me missus names and wait for the reaction. So
okay, yeah, slightly less painful maybe this option tonight though.
Yeah, pain. Yeah.
I see your point. Okay, fair dues. Okay, less said about the Wolves game, the better. That was dross, wasn't it? I mean, that really was.
You've just said less said about it, the better. You want us to talk about it.
Well, I was just going to briefly mention it, just to get confirmation that it was
definitely dross. You don't need our confirmation to tell you it was dross. It was definitely dross. It was definitely dross.
Okay, all right. guys, the stadium capacity, complete the curveball there. Okay, what is it? Has it been confirmed? Can you just let me know?
It is 52,833. Is that right?
888, isn't it?
Oh, it's all right. Whatever.
52,888.
Okay, and that is confirmed, is it?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Because I just think that's poor.
It's a joke.
It's way too low. It's a brand new stadium, and we're only putting 52 in. It just seems, it just seems such a wasted opportunity, don't you think?
It's a disgrace.
Put it this way: it was the decision made by people who are no longer at the football club. So, what does that tell you? It's our future. It's our future as a football club, and the people who made the decision aren't at the football club and are gone. So that tells you everything you need to know about it. They said, well, what they said was, this was the caveat. They said it could rise to 60,000 with safe standing, and this caught a lot of people out, because a lot of people thought, oh well, if safe standing comes in, then it'll be 60,000. Well, safe standing has come in, and it won't be going to 60,000, because the reason is you have to change the ratios to get it to 60,000, and the ratios they want will never ever come in this country. They just simply won't come in. They just won't come in because we don't even have proper safe standing in this country. We have a watered down version. We have seats with something to hold on to, essentially. Whereas in Germany they have proper firm seats that are screwed into place, so you can't take them down yourself. So you stand properly, and you have something to lean on in front and something behind you. And that makes it safe, and there's a little gap, which means that two people can occupy one seat, essentially. That's never going to come in this country.
What kind of capacities were you getting over there? Because you went over there, didn't you?
We were standing on the yellow wall, and on the yellow wall, how many people were standing?
84. There was 84,000 in the ground, 25,000 on the yellow wall.
Yeah, and then we went back into the ground on the Monday to do some interviews, and we were watching them convert it back for the Champions League game, because it had to be seats. And obviously, when it goes
back.
Yeah, because you can't have safe standing in the Champions League, so they can convert. They could convert, and they were doing it because we were in this ground. So on the Monday morning, they were converting the yellow wall back to all seats.
So they can just change it back and forth week to week, willy nilly.
Yeah.
It doesn't take very long. The way they had it, they got a bolt on thing, but it's changed again.
Yeah. So essentially, it's unbelievable, and they've had it for years. So essentially, that's their version of it. Our version is watered down. So we've got, you can stand, but it's only one person per seat, and I can't see that ever changing. I can't see them allowing two people, because they just don't trust that. They just, as fans, they don't trust us, and I don't think they ever will trust us. And now and again, there's too many people in this country give them reason not to trust us as well. Let's get it right. And so it's never going to get to 60,000. It's never going to get to 60,000. No. That's what was like the asterisk on the ground when it was been. The argument is, and if you ask Dan Mice, is the footprint for the ground isn't massive because of the land we're building on. So could they have made it any bigger? Well, maybe. I don't think they could have made the ground any bigger, but certainly like the seats inside, they could make the seats smaller. But as we stand right now, it's going to be less than 53,000, and
which is a joke.
That is terrible, isn't it?
And as I said, the people who made those decisions no longer are employed by Everton Football Club, but that's our future. So, what size would you have liked it to have been?
Well, what was? What I would have liked, something like a 58.
Yeah, see, I would have just gone 60. I think 60 is a nice round number. I
just kind of thought that the 53,000 or whatever, it's 52,888. It just seems like this day and age that is not a great capacity for the ground. I mean, that lot over the road, their capacity is
60 now, isn't it?
It's over. Right. It'll be going over 60.
And we're building a brand new one, which has got way less than that. It's just, I don't know.
I suppose. I mean, listen. Their ground is will be over 60, and they could have a 90,000 let's be honest. Let's get it right. They could have. They're like Man United. They could have 90,000. They don't want 90,000 because they like the idea that there's not enough seats for people who want to go there. So when you go there, you'll pay premium to go there. Everton might have a similar idea, but we're not the same crowd, we're not the same fan base, but I still think you could get 60,000 at Everton every single week without a problem.
This is the question I was going to ask you, that with the new stadium, how many people do you think would go to watch it? If we had a 60,000 like you wanted, would we be able to fill it?
Yeah, I think we'd easily fill it. I think the waiting, not only with the waiting list, but also with just the fact that it's a new ground and the fact that it'd be exciting. There'll be new, There'll be new things to see and do. People love Premier League football, and I honestly believe that we'd have no problem. People might get put off by going to Goodison because of the views they get at the ground and all that. This would be this would be the most modern stadium in the country. All right, as you said, it mightn't be the biggest, but I
consistently.
Yeah, I do.
I do. 60. What do you reckon, Baz?
Don't know. I think we did 55,000 regularly. 60, I'm not convinced.
Right.
But 55,000 is still 16,000 more than we're getting now. Yeah, and we'd do that regularly. But maybe Ped's right. I mean, you do get a big uplift when...
We just don't know, do we, really?
No.
We just don't know.
They've gambled on even the nonsense that it isn't even 53,000. That, to me, is such a pathetic decision. Made by two CEOs who no longer are employed, and if you glued them together, wouldn't be good enough to be Everton's CEO. So, absolute joke of a decision, but there you go.
Yeah. All right. Oh, what's done is done, I suppose.
That's it. Not much we can do about it now.
No. Have you guys seen the Beckham documentary?
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, it was long, wasn't it? I think it was like a 4-part. 45-minute, hour. I mean, it was long.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit too long for a doco, but...
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was long
I didn't think it was long enough. No. I wanted to know everything about everything. That's...
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty comprehensive. No, it was good, but I just thought it was long. But it was good nonetheless, and it takes you back, doesn't it? Because... He was massive one day.
Yeah,
you do forget. You forget how. Yeah. You forget how big he was.
Well, you know he was massive because he's still quite massive now.
Yeah,
like advertising brands love him, and whatever he's doing is important, and also he's quite clever, Beckham, because he actually, even though he's quite a big name, he's not everywhere, is he? You don't see him on all kinds and on podcasts. He's a brand on his own. So when he makes an appearance, it's like a special thing, and I think that's why he limits his time really well, so that he's not everywhere. Because I think if you're a person that is on everything all the time, you dilute the thing that's special about you. So I think he's really clever in that as well. So
he's done well. Yeah, he's done
very well. Yeah.
It takes me back to the time, it was 2002. I was in Japan for the World Cup in 2002. And I don't know if you recall that time, but I think he did his metatarsal, and it was a bit dodgy whether he was going to make it.
Yeah.
And I went to the game. It was a warm-up game. It was at the Unibar in Kobe. And I think, if my memory serves, it was against Cameroon.
Okay.
I can't remember. I think England won 1-0, Robbie Fowler or something, and Beckham wasn't playing because he had this cloud over him about this injury. Right?
Yeah,
and it was a decent crowd. It was a baking hot day, and it was mad. It was, like I say, there's a decent crowd there. But after the game finished, Beckham come onto the pitch to do a bit of a run out and do a bit of stretching and stuff like that. The crowd went absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
It was, everyone just swarmed right to the front, to the point where it was actually pretty dangerous. Actually, because as you can imagine, that security wasn't best out at that time, especially at that ground. It was like a university ground, I think. Yeah, Unibar. But he was massive, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to talk to you about this is like, he's done well, of course, in business and in football. Do you like Beckham? Are you a fan of his?
Yeah, huge fan.
Right.
Always have been. Never got the hate for him in '98. I just thought it was just one of those things. I've always been a fan of him. I went, why? Because I just thought not only was he a brilliant footballer, but he had something about him which other people didn't have. He had a personality, even though people said he didn't have a personality. He had a huge personality. He was his own man. He was a great footballer, and I went over to Real Madrid to watch him play when he played for Real Madrid, and it was one of the greatest teams I've ever seen in my life play. It was the full Galacticos played in the Champions League. I went over to watch him, and I would have gone over. I would have loved to have seen him play for LA and Paris Saint-Germain. Was in the ground when he played his last game for Manchester United when he scored against Everton. He won the league. I just
Richard, I should have said that.
Yeah, should have. But no, I honestly have always liked him, and I've never got the hatred of him ever. I think he's a fantastic footballer as well, which is often diluted as well. People like to say that he wasn't a good footballer. He was an amazing footballer. He was an amazing footballer, and you don't fluke your way to what he's done in life. No. You really don't. You know, you can have all the attributes. You can be a brand or a face or whatever, but unless you take control yourself, you can't have all that. And I just think what he's done is amazing. And as I said, I've always liked him.
You're the same, Baz.
Beckham, yeah. I think he's great. I think he was a tremendous footballer for what he had in terms of his ability. His vision was incredible. Wasn't the most skillful, as in dropping, going past players with dribbling ability or whatever, but his passing range was unbelievable, his vision. And I think his wife is a genius in the PR thing and created an icon in the world, more so than him. He's a good looking kid, and she created the persona that is David Beckham. And together they're formidable, and that's why he's probably one of the biggest icons in the world still.
Yeah, I guess
even after how many years he stopped playing football, he's still a huge draw, and he's doing it with Miami now, isn't he? He's created something at Inter Miami, so fair play to him. I think he comes across as a nice fella. So fair play.
There is a bit of a point to this questioning.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, no, because Baz, you went there. Ped, do you remember our conversation about England?
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you remember.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
And you were quite sort of vehement in your views about that, and I don't think Baz wasn't here at the time.
No.
And the reason why I'm asking that is because I actually liked Beckham because of what he gave to England.
Yeah.
A lot of people, of course, will remember him from the goal he scored against Greece. But what I remember more vividly about that game was just his overall work rate, and the will to want to qualify and make up for what he did. So my kind of love, if you like, for Beckham is from that England performance.
Yeah.
Now, Ped, you probably wouldn't have those views about that England because you're just not that into the England thing.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned that Baz has similar views about England. Is that right, Baz? You're not really into the England thing, right?
I always want them to do well in the finals, like the Euros or the World Cup. I'd like them to win it, but I'm not that bothered if they don't. It won't upset me if they went out. I just think I wanted them to win the final. He lost the Euro final against Italy. I would have liked England to win it. I didn't lose any sleep that night when I went to bed and they'd lost. If it was Everton, I wouldn't have got over it for months. So I'm just a bit like, I'm not really that bothered. But I wouldn't mind them winning the World Cup. Wouldn't mind them winning the Euros next summer and all that. So I don't hate England, but I'm not really bothered by them, to be fair.
Yeah. So, but I guess what I'm trying to make out is that you like Beckham for maybe what he gave to Manchester United and his club. And
no, just to football. He was outstanding for England. And don't forget, David Beckham playing for England was a time when I did want England to do. Don't get me wrong. I've never painted my face and I've never worn an England shirt and all that. But I wanted England to do well. I've been disappointed. I was gutted that we lost in '86. I was devastated when we lost in 1990 to Germany on a penalty shootout. I was gutted in '96 in the Euros.
Okay, so this
By
is
the
just
time
a
it
recent
got-
thing that you're just
from about
right.
I think when they started nicking players off Everton and all of that nonsense, and that has just started to lose a bit of interest in them.
Yeah.
And I think the likes of the Capello era just ended it for me. Absolutely woeful. Shouldn't have been anywhere near England manager. Steve McLaren, shocking decision by them. And then you just go, well, what's the point? And they just pick players. They're still doing it now. Picking players who shouldn't be anywhere near the team or the squad. So it is.
Yeah, I can understand how your like passion for
Everton are far more important, mate, put it that way.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, yeah, the documentary was good. Like I said, it was, even though I said it was long, you are right, it did pass pretty quick actually, so it must have been pretty entertaining. But I don't know if you remember the scene when they're interviewing Posh, and this kind of like really made me giggle. Is it seems to be a pattern now when people are doing these podcasts or documentaries or whatever it might be, is they're just saying like how poor they were when they were young.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any friends and I was the outsider. And then if you remember, Bex comes in and said, "Oh, be honest," right? You remember that?
That's it. Yeah. About the Rolls getting driven in a Rolls Royce.
Right, yeah. It's like they were driving a Rolls Royce. It seems to be a common thing now that everyone like playing the victim or rags to riches kind of story, even though it's not true. But that happens quite a lot now, doesn't it? That kind of thing. And certainly these kind of documentaries are becoming more common now, aren't they? There was the Arnie one, Sly one, Beckham one, Ronaldo and Messi prior to that. That's a common theme coming for these like Netflix specials, right?
It's because all of these people grew up in the spotlight, or their whole career. Think about it now. Everyone's career now, if you go back 20, 30 years, their whole thing is everything's been filmed, documented. Everything's been filmed. Everything's been documented. We live in an era now where we don't have like if you have anyone's got kids, or even like if you're 25 now, your whole life will have been documented on basically a phone, isn't it? Like even if you're a normal person, so. Yeah. If you're a big star, your entire life will have been documented. They can take
footage somewhere, right?
There'll be footage everywhere, never mind somewhere. There'll be footage for everything you've ever done. Certainly for someone like Beckham, Messi, Ronaldo, their whole lives will have been documented. Everything they've ever done since they got famous will have been documented. And everything before they got famous probably will have been documented because we live in an era where everyone's got a camera phone or everyone grew up with video cameras.
Well, you've got the footage of him playing.
When
his dad filming
in the garden, right?
Yeah. I'm playing for whoever team when he was on the right hand side. When he was like 13 or something.
I wonder what that was filmed on. I mean, because that would have been.
It was only early 90s, well, late 80s. JVC
camera. Even so, what was it filmed on?
Well, Marty McFly had a video camera, so
absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay, finally, so like I was talking about these docos that are coming out recently about his life stories, what famous person would you both like to see a documentary like that?
Umar Niasse.
Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah, Zidane.
We've had the Ronaldo one. The Ronaldo one came out last year.
Coldrup.
Yeah, Per Coldrup would be called. His will be called. I couldn't head the ball. Something like that. Niarco.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Nah,
Zidane's
a good shout.
Zidane's a good shout.
I want a proper full one on Ronaldo Nazario. I know there's been like I want one that's got like 6 episodes of an hour long. I don't want one crammed into 70 minutes. The greatest number 9 ever lived.
Right. Okay. It'll happen though. It'll happen.
Don't know.
Okay. Only if we do it. Outside of sport.
Outside the sport?
Couldn't care less.
I
only watch sports documentaries.
Kylie Minogue once.
I wouldn't have not asked one tiny bit. I just want football players. Yeah.
I mean, sports documentaries are miles better. Certainly football ones are miles better than football. Yeah. Like miles better.
Yeah.
You never get much enjoyment watching a game of footy as you would watching.
Avoid Wrexham scores.
Just so you can
when
see
the doc comes, you're like, oh, did he get beat? Oh, no, I didn't know that was going to happen. That's what you want, see. Or watch sports documentaries about like obscure teams in America where you have no idea how they actually got on. So when you watch like the All or Nothing, you're like, oh, did they lose that? Did they win that? Makes it well better.
Incredible.
There you go.
Incredible.
Anyway, right, nice
Sharpie, we're going.
Lovely
Thanks
stuff.
very much,
Nice
mate.
one, mate.
Take it easy. All the best for 2024.
All the best,
You
mate.
too.
Take it easy. See you, mate. Bye. There you go. Big Sharpie there. All sorts of documentary questions. Fair play. Lollipop would like to see a proper Dixie Dean documentary. No footage, though.
That's the problem. There's no footage. And
The footage,
there's
like,
not really
carries it.
There's not many people left who can tell us about what the
what he
games
was
were like.
and stuff.
So
and
that's
what the
again,
games
that's another major issue.
They'll all be like just taken from reports, wouldn't it, really, and people's accounts of it, as opposed to there probably wouldn't be loads of people
That's
who've
it.
seen him in real life playing, is there? So there you go. Right, that's us done. Make sure you like, subscribe, and do all that stuff. And
Preview's out for
preview
tomorrow's
is out
game.
for the Palace game.
There you go.
We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy. Bye.